Nah, but Ebro, been a big fan for a minute. Obviously, you rep New York hard. You checked out the playoffs. You're a big time Knicks fan. What'd you think about this past series and what they've been able to do this
So,
past season?
so listen, I've been in New York since I was 28 years old. I'm about to turn 50.
Are we the same age? Oh, no, I'm thinking 40, 50. Tripping. Go ahead.
No, we not, brother. But I'm not a big. I'm a bandwagon Knicks fan.
Yeah.
First of all, let's be super clear. Okay, I have for my time. I grew up a Lakers fan, so my dad was. I'm originally from the Bay Area,
Okay.
but my dad is so old school as an Oakland dude that he wouldn't even root for the Golden State Warriors when they moved to Oakland because
From
they
Philly.
was originally the San Francisco Warriors.
Oh, and they were Philly before that.
And it was Philly before that. And then then Lou Alcindor changed his name. My dad is, he's a black nationalist, and Lou Alcindor changed his name. He was like, oh, nah. And then Magic came, and it was, it was Magic versus Bird, and all that. We was Lakers. It was So I was born in 1975. So by 1980, I'm 5 years old. So I grew up with that.
Yeah.
I was given that. More recently, though, living in New York, I'm a fan of Knicks fans. That's how it started.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I'm a fan of how Knicks fans go hard for their team. Sometimes, and not even sometimes, most of the time until recently, delusional, but they going hard, right? My biggest problem was actually the way the team was ran, and I felt like Dolan, the team's owner, was disrespectful to the fan base because how are you the most lucrative franchise in the NBA and you can't put a playoff team on the floor every year? Like, I didn't understand.
That's real.
And so I would be on the radio here in New York like, yo, y'all being played, bro. Like, how are you being played like this? Like, do not let this Knicks owner – don't be mad at the team. Be mad at the ownership. Be mad at the front office. Be mad at the mismanagement of the money because y'all are buying tickets. You're watching. You're buying jerseys. Like, you're doing everything you can do as a fan to make sure that they have the resources to go out and put some great shit on the floor. And they wasn't doing it until recently. And, shout out to World Wide West and Leon Rose. And even I know Steve Stout was involved in kind of the marketing and kind of some of that. So, and I've never met Dolan, and I've always heard from everybody that he's a really nice dude. Like, but I also didn't like how he treated legends. Why is Charles Oakley getting arrested for having an opinion? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
So I had my, and I'm vocal. So y'all ain't gotta fuck with me or not. I don't need to be let in the garden. I'm good. I like watching basketball on TV anyway. But here more recently, I'm a Knicks fan. Let's go. So I think that they did well. I think they did better than expected. And I think they did, if we're grading the Knicks on doing the most, against extreme odds, I think they did the most they could do with what they had stacked against them as far as injuries and, just the way the season went for them. I mean, their second best player, so arguably their first best player, he's out since January.
Yeah.
You made a great move with OG and bringing him in, one of the great defensive players that is currently in the league. There's a lot of talk around the city right now about his history of injury and how that's going to play out moving forward, and if they need to figure out a better rotation at that position to kind of, make sure he's secure there. Getting Mitchell Robinson back and having a good rotation with Mitchell and Hartenstein moving forward.
Hartenstein had a good year.
If Burks can be better off the bench and get in that rotation, there's a lot of discussion around Tibbs having a deeper rotation instead of this 7-man. How can that be an 8 or everybody's pontificating right now.
Yeah.
And what I see is people, when they lose, they want to blame somebody. And when there's no one to blame, people just start saying shit. Yeah. Like, people want to blame Tibbs. They want to blame him having a short rotation, or running his players into the ground. They want to blame someone. But honestly, if Randall doesn't go down and Hart doesn't get an abdomen and OG's hammy, which could be a soft tissue injuries based on wear and tear, could be. We don't know. If that doesn't happen, I think they win that series.
Yeah, I think we all agree
No,
with
absolutely.
that.
I think it would have been great for, the game of basketball as well, because when you're sitting here, you're like, yo, Eastern Conference Finals, Boston Celtics going up against the New York Knicks would have been perfect at the Garden. Especially consider like a
Phenomenal.
couple years ago, like how wild the streets go when they do win. Remember when they beat Atlanta just in one game? They pretty
And that's
much
why I'm a fan of Knicks fan.
yeah, for sure.
They win 1-0 game, and it's like, we did it.